Welcome back to ReZero, where in the last episode, Subaru's innards were met with the cold embrace of the tiled hallway floor. And we got to meet Elsa once again. Not really a character we know much about, probably by design, but the one thing we do know about her is that she really enjoys separating one's vital organs from their fleshy cage. And I, for one, am looking forward to see what Subaru can do about it, considering he's not really back at the mansion and hasn't been for quite a while. Is he going to have to make a decision? Let's find out. Back in the sanctuary, in the room of the trial, so... Is this before or after he had his meeting with the Witch of Greed? And do those kind of things happen in the timeline so we wouldn't have to repeat it? That's another thing. Each and every time that he fails now, he's going to be reborn into the moment where... with Amelia's mental anguish. Subaru's got other things on his mind right now. Which takes precedence? Just straight up telling him. Rather than being told, he's the teacher. One more nickname for him that we have to remember. There's more than one trial. But the fact that he's qualified, does that mean a few things about Subaru's character? But at least putting it into words and saying there's more ahead. Is Amelia wanting to stand on her own 2 feet and do something? Yeah, that's the problem with having knowledge that you shouldn't have. Because he was so pushing for it beforehand. Of course that's not what he's saying. But then how is she going to go through anything, any hardships in the future if she runs away now? Especially if she's one of these royalty candidates. I can't remember exactly what was said in the Roswell speech. Yeah, there are more. It's drip feeding us more and more about Roswell. Are we supposed to distrust him completely? Are we going to ignore everything that's happened in the past series? Yeah, she kind of effortlessly destroyed Rom, Old Man Rom, and the others in that pawn shop, I believe it was. So he let slip the fact this time things have happened more than once without suffering any consequences, like just straight up saying, I can return from death. What would happen if he wrote a letter saying that he can return? Upsetting the balance of what Roswell knows or doesn't. By himself, Subaru doesn't really stand a chance against anyone. Yeah. Without Rem being there, why would Subaru actually be allowed to work in the mansion? Because Ram would be so against it. Was he a big decision maker in the first place? Giving such tactics away so easily. Was that her fighting back against Gluttony's presence there and actually remembering parts of what happened? Nope. Meh. Why wouldn't she? If she can get away with it. Wasn't she riding side saddle just a minute ago? The fact that she realised that he was looking for that rather than just her wanting it on her own machinations. No, she is riding side saddle. But that's impossible, right? I actually forgot what scene it was, but yes. Does that mean every memory about those events? I mean, that still happened, just without Rem. Hmm. I mean, they've got a while. a while on their journey back to the mansion. Better than just taking it in silence. Hmm. If this is a failure and he having to just leave without talking to anyone, there's going to have ramifications behind that one as well. What is the right answer? He was so in deep thought that he didn't realize Petra welcoming him back. Control yourself. Has she at least been doing a good job as a stand-in maid? Ah. Yes, in many, many ways. I guess if this line is going to be another failure, just having a little bit of a break from the suffering might be alright. She has some manners. Not bad for just a village girl. You had some visitors. Was part of their job description going around the forest? I know the barriers broke before, and that was what kind of let the hounds in. She works hard. She looks so peaceful. It's a tough one. It's like you meeting your sister who you don't know, and you can only trust the word of Subaru. I thought she was patrolling. Did she sense something was up and came back early? You can say that. There was a reaction. But he's not really the talkative type. Not sure why you need to take a little break between those two sentences, but yep. What is the purpose behind them? I still haven't quite worked that one out. Was she just a useful pawn? Just take a seat there, drink his tea. Hopefully that was just normal tea this time. And I see they get along really well. Just asking the same kind of thing that Subaru did, just with more weight behind it. Can you give a clue? Um, Everyone's motives and plans are quite confusing at the minute. How much force is needed? Extreme, hopefully. That's a lovely greeting. For some reason, just seeing Petra kind of trot off like that after being held captive was quite funny. And even though it looked like it hit, it's only just a bit of blood and ripped clothing. Have we seen Elsa actually take any significant damage ever? I'm not sure about that one. I'm so happy that they went back to showing Subaru's use of like shadow magic or whatever it was. I mean, he still has it, even if he hasn't ever used it to do anything. I don't think it'll be over so easily. I mean, to get you four out alive, probably, but to sacrifice them. And because she doesn't have the memories of her sister and whatnot, she can make such a judgment. Yep, actually, that kind of tracks. So we've got the two conflicting ideals here. Petra, I think you should run. This isn't a democracy. Was that Was that a reference to how Rem doesn't have her horn? Okay. So, transformation sequence. Was the was the necklace necessary for this? I wondered that. I always try not to think too much about when there's some sort of beast transformation or something, because the vocal cords would definitely be affected. Not to mention not having the same mouth movement, so pronunciation would be a lot different. He still has a shard in his back. Mm. Why are you bringing them all with you? Um. Hmm. Yeah, things aren't gonna be easy. So not only is there Elsa, but there's also the magical beasts. At least they're not going in with a half-baked plan. Hide behind a chair. That worked. Using the dust as a distraction. Hopefully that doesn't have any. Yeah, it's gonna cut her. It doesn't have any poisons or paralysis effects on it. Using the matching wristbands. Yeah, he does that for quite a lot of people. Unfortunately, things don't always work out the way you want them to. And considering there are more unknown factors to this, like the beast, why was that here? Hopefully, it wasn't Frederica that let it in, patrolling the forest and whatnot, because, yeah. Okay. It's good that she can make jokes in time like this. So, so Patricia was attacked. He was still holding Petra's hand. Everything's fucked. I don't hear much noise, and since it's not showing her, and was keeping quite close to his body. He's still holding her hand. There's just not much else attached. Did he get anything? Any information from this run? If she hadn't called out, he wouldn't have found her. Yeah, I don't think it would be as easy as get her to let everything slip just because she's about to kill you. So whoever gave her the order knew who was gonna be in the mansion. So at least they're keeping tabs on what's going on. They might have a mole. He's not going to let things end too easily. Oh. I was expecting a scene from inside the room being quite the sight. But no, Beatrice stepped in and saved him, and didn't act or do anything beforehand that might have helped. 2 maids and 1 shut-in. It's good to see that Beatrice herself has so far gotten away from Elsa. Don't know how long that will last though. And hopefully she has something of relevance that can really change the flow of the situation, because even 2 days ahead of schedule, it wasn't enough. But does that mean that Elsa was hanging around the mansion for 2 days? If she'd already turned up now, and she cut up Subaru in the past line, I wonder if the one there that is giving the orders knows about Subaru's 2nd, 3rd, 74th try ability. Because if so, that is going to be something quite difficult to plan, but apparently not for them. I'm trying to think who would stand up against Elsa and actually do some damage. Probably there's some among the knights that might do some work. Omitting the obvious Reinhardt and his, he has a few skills. But once again, Subaru's in the midst of trying to figure out who is friend or foe, while also being under attack and trying to save those that can't defend themselves. So it's definitely going to be an uphill struggle. If you're going to enjoy watching that, then you may want to come back for more. Leaving a like on the video will let me know that you actually want to see it, and subscribing would also be very appreciated. For the most part though, you may need to get some rest. Keep good hold on your extremities. Unfortunately for us, we only get 1 chance. So rest up, get yourself a drink. See you in the next one. If you want to be like a hearty knife in the gut, then consider joining onto my Patreon and letting me know that you're there. So far, Sal, Raywin, Electric Ant, Denimate 1997, Shiwan, Jennifer Rojas, Mecha, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Dark Shadow 7899, Yuki Ali and everyone else have actually showered me with support instead of murderous intent, which I really hope it stays that way.